time. This assembly was established at Stormont in 98. Various other legislatures have existed there down the decades. But anyway, so Michelle O'Neill, she's the leader of the Sinn Féin in the north, not for the whole of Ireland, that's Mary Lou MacDonald, um, is going to become First Minister. So Sinn Féin have got 29% of the votes. That's 1 percentage point up from last time. So very good news for them. Now, they've only got 18 seats out of 90 in the Northern Ireland Assembly. Nobody's ever got near achieving a majority 46. It was 108 seats in the Northern Ireland Assembly initially, but they slimmed it down to 90. So Sinn Féin is not just one, but fairly substantially. The runners-up with the Democratic Unionist Party, they only got 21.3%. So it was a more or less catastrophic night for the DUP, having gone down 6.7 percentage points. That's a loss about a quarter of their vote. So Sinn Féin gained only a little, but the DUP lost badly, and they were pulled in both directions. So a lot of people defected to the traditional unionist voice, TUV. That's led by Jim Allister, hardline unionists, no agreement, no power sharing, and they went up a lot. They went up from 2.5% to 7.6%. So they've increased their vote share. Well, they've more than tripled their vote share. So that's fantastic for them. Well, they've got a solitary seat in this assembly. So it's not exactly proportional representation. It's a single transferable vote. Anyway, so Geoffrey Donaldson, Sir Geoffrey, he's still leader of the DUP, but but he's an MP. He's not an MLA, not a member of the Legislative Assembly. It's Paul Given was the First Minister of Northern Ireland because he was leader of the DUP in the Assembly. And his resignation as First Minister, he refused to go along with the protocol, didn't want the Irish Language Act. That's what triggered this election. He resigned 3 months ago. They must be regretting forcing this early election. And so, as I say, some hardline DUPs have gone over to the traditional unionist voice, and some moderates have gone to the Ulster Unionist Party, to the Alliance Party, really. The Alliance Party is the third biggest party, so led by Naomi Long, who's formerly MP for Belfast East. So they got 13.5%, so a very good night for them. They've gone up 4.5%. So increased their vote share by about half. They've got 8 assembly seats. And the Ulster Unionist Party, the once mighty, has got 11.2% of the vote. They've gone down 1.7. So a dreadful night for the two major unionist parties, both having gone down. And they've lost people to the Alliance, and I suppose some votes to the traditional unionist voice as well. So Doug Beattie, that former Royal Navy submarine commander, he's leader of the UUP. They've got only 4 seats. They're the 4th biggest party in Northern Ireland. Remember, for decades, for almost 90 years, they're the biggest party in Northern Ireland, since Northern Ireland was a distinct entity. Well, no, not 90 years. Well, since partition of Ireland is 1991 until about sort of 2010 time, maybe slightly earlier. No, about 2005, they were the largest party. So Colm Eastwood leads the Social Democratic and Labour Party, a moderate nationalist party. So he got 9.1%. They've gone down a bit, 2.9%. So a few votes gone to Sinn Féin and some gone to the Alliance Party, the Cross Community Alliance Party. The Alliance always insists on alternating leaders, or Catholic leader followed by Protestant, followed by Catholic, followed by Protestant. So they tend to be very moderately unionist, and they say Ireland was divided because communities were divided and not the other way around. Sinn Féin policies are fantastic. At least if they mess up in Northern Ireland, they do worse next. Fantastical, as in impossible, in the Republic of Ireland. Well, that's a hypocritical thing about. So they've only got 3 seats, the SDLP, 9.1% of the vote. And then traditional unionist force have got 7.6% of the vote. That's up a lot. And the Green Party, which is for Northern Ireland, it's not part of the Irish Green Party. It's not part of the English and Welsh Green Party, the Scots Green Party. Claire Bailey, they got 1.9% of the vote, but no seats. Wayne to means unity in Irish, led by Pada Tobin. They got 1.5% of the vote and no seats. People Before Profit, led by that 80-year-old dairyman, Eamon McCann. They got no seats, 1.1% of the vote. What else to point out? So yeah, let's add the nationalist votes together, 29% for Sinn Féin plus 9% for the SDLP. That brings you up to 38%. Plus, Wayne 2 is 1.5%. That's almost 40%. People Before Profit is not strictly nationalist or unionist, but I think breaks a bit more nationalists, about 40% for the combined nationalist vote. Then if you look at unionists, so 21% for the DUP, and the LC Unionist Party 11%. So that's 32.5% already. And then the traditionally is voice 7.6%. So they're more or less on 40% as well. So fascinating that nationalists and unionists are like neck and neck. And then how about the Alliance Party? Do you count them as nationalists and unionists? And that's the big question. Or are they half and half? So it could go either way. So people talking about this border poll, will Sinn Fein demand a vote, a referendum, should Northern Ireland remain within the United Kingdom or leave and fuse with the Republic of Ireland? But they're a bit hesitant about doing that. They're not confident. They think they might lose, and then they would never be able to hold one again. Well, not for decades. And I remember Colm Eastwood, the leader of the SDLP, said, you know, how much is Irish unity worth? It's worth like less than 50 euros because they say people have to pay 50 euros to see the GP in the Republic of Ireland, not paying that. Let's stay in the UK. So even though people vote for nationalist parties, they don't automatically want to leave the UK, bizarrely. So is it kind of an identity thing, a sectarian thing? So you'll vote for something you don't actually believe in just because of your religious denomination, even if you're not very religious. How bizarre. Okay, so it's not a shock result. It was largely seen coming, but it maybe is a new era. But can Sinn Féin sustain it? So the First Minister of Northern Ireland will be someone who openly opposes Northern Ireland's position within the United Kingdom, would like to take it out and join the Republic of Ireland. Well, shows how fair it is. And Her Majesty's government have said, okay, if there's looks like a lot of people on the Northern Ireland would like to leave the UK, of course we will expedite a referendum, and people will be able to make their voice heard on that one. And if most people in Northern Ireland wish to leave the UK and join the Republic of Ireland, the UK government shall facilitate that. So yeah, that could happen. I mean, I think the Nationals would narrowly lose if that came to that. They say status quo also has a bit of a built-in advantage. I mean, obviously, Project Fear could work. Republic of Ireland couldn't afford to subsidise Northern Ireland, and on and on. So there we go. A fascinating result, widely seen coming. I don't know why on earth the unionist parties don't merge. The DUP and LC Unionist Party, they should have amalgamated into a single party years ago. There aren't many substantial policy differences. They both dislike the protocol, but other things, it's a class thing to some extent. LC Unionist Party a bit more urban, maybe a bit more middle class, and tend to be Church of Ireland or sometimes Presbyterian. The DUP a bit more likely to be the non-mainstream Protestant churches as in Baptist, Free Presbyterian, Methodist, and so on. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Toodle pip.